That's one of the reasons I voted for an energy bill in the Senate that was far from perfect, but doubled our use of alternative energy. We've got to develop it. That's why, as president, I will put the full resources of the federal government and the full energy of the private sector behind a single overarching goal. In 10 years, we're going to eliminate the need for oil from the entire Middle East and Venezuela. All of it. Now, to do this, we're going to invest $150 billion over the next decade and leverage billions of dollars more in private capital to harness American energy and create 5 million jobs in the process, jobs that cannot be outsourced, good-paying jobs that will be created right here in Indiana and all across the United States of America. How are we going to do this? Number one, we're going to create cars that get 150 miles per gallon. We're going to create plug-in hybrid cars that are made not in Japan, not in China, but right here in the United States of America. We will help the automakers retool, and we are going to put money into research and development to ensure that this happens, and we're going to create an electricity grid that allows us to fully utilize the plug-in hybrid technology that's already on the shelf right now, but we're not using it because we haven't been serious about this issue. Number two, we're going to double the amount of energy that comes from renewable sources by the end of my first term, and that means investing in solar and wind and biodiesel. Number three, we're going to call on businesses, government, and consumers to meet the goal of reducing demand for electricity by 15% over the next decade. And this is by far the fastest, the easiest, and cheapest way to reduce our energy consumption. We can save $130 billion on our energy bills just by taking some basic energy efficiency steps. You know, California over the last 3 decades has seen no increase in electricity usage, although the rest of the country has seen a 60% increase. And California's grown just as fast, if not faster, than any part of the country. Because when you put your mind to it and we apply some basic strategies, we can save a whole lot of money and a whole lot of energy. And in just 3 years, these steps will produce enough renewable energy to replace all the oil that we import from the Middle East and Venezuela. I won't pretend those goals aren't ambitious. It won't be easy to accomplish these tasks, but we can do it because we've done it before. I want to say that achieving them is absolutely necessary for our safety and our prosperity. And in the same way that John F. Kennedy said that we can go to the moon in a decade, even though at the time the technology didn't exist, nobody knew how we were going to do it. We can set those same kinds of goals today. And American ingenuity and determination will help us get there. So we face a choice in this election. Let me just wrap up by saying this. We face a choice. We can keep on doing the same things we've been doing on energy for the last 8 years, the last 20 years, the last 40 years. And we can keep on sending $700 a day, $700 billion a day, let me get that right, $700 million a day to Middle East dictators and foreign nations. We can continue to pump carbon into our atmosphere that's causing global warming. We can keep on having our economy hostage to crises in other countries. Or we can decide we're going to take this energy future firmly into our own hands. And that's the same kind of choice we face on every issue. We can keep on having a tax code that provides tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas, or we can have a tax code that gives tax relief to middle-income Americans who really need it, as I've proposed. We can decide that we're going to have a healthcare system that leaves 47 million people out and leaves you seeing your co-payments and deductibles and premiums going up and up and up. Or we can decide to fix our healthcare system so that not only are you paying less and getting more for your healthcare dollar, but people who don't have healthcare at all can finally get some relief and don't have to worry about going bankrupt if they get sick. We can take John McCain's approach and essentially not have a strategy to improve our public schools. Or we can decide we're going to invest in early childhood education and pay our teachers more money and give them more support. And make college more affordable with a $4,000 tuition credit in exchange for community service. We can stay in Iraq indefinitely, or permit the Iraqis to bank all the oil money that we're sending over there and not spend it in reconstructing their own country. Or we can decide that today is now time for us to provide the Iraqis the responsibility for securing their own country, so that we can focus our attention on hunting down al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, those who killed 3,000 Americans. Those are choices we face in this election. So, when you're talking to your friends and your neighbors and they're saying, well, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out, it's still early, I'm waiting for the Olympics and then I'll pay attention to politics. I want you to just ask them a simple question. Do they think that they are better off today than they were 4 or 8 years ago? Do they think that the economy is working right now? Do they think our foreign policy is working right now? If they do, then they should work their heart out for John McCain, because his policies are not different from what George Bush has been offering. But if you think that we need fundamental change, if you think that we can create a brighter future and we can have a more serious politics than we have right now, one that focuses on solving our problems instead of on Paris Hilton and Britney Spears, then I need you to vote for me. I need you to work with me. I need you to organize with me. And if you do, we'll win Indiana. We're going to win this election, and together we're going to change the country. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We've got some work to do here. We've got to answer some questions. Now, here's how we're going to do this. I'm probably not going to get to everybody's questions. We'll probably get to answer maybe 5, 6 questions. I'm going to try to go boy, girl, to make sure it's fair. And just raise your hand. There are microphones in the audience, and so that will give a chance for everybody to hear what I know will be your outstanding question. All right?